shove him out of the way? Yes, he will. Drama.
Through the final turn, it is going to come down to Calamity Corner as they bang off on one another. Who's got it at the end?
Victory. Heartbreak. The road to becoming a champion is not easy. Many can dream, but only one can succeed. The time is now for someone to rise above and claim the title. The 2024 National Series is coming. When it comes to off-road racing on iRacing, the National Series brings out the cream of the crop. Multiple pros and hot shoes will be measuring themselves to see if they're still one of the best. With the first round out of the way, we've gotten a glimpse of the pecking order. But now they return to try to back up their performances as we get ready to watch round 2 of the iRacing Short Course National Series. And you'll see it all live here on Podium Esports. I'm Joe Peak, and joining me in the booth is the voice of off-road, Dave Arnold. And behind the scenes is our producer, Ryan Bauer, with the help of social media with Cameron Aubernon. Dave, I always look forward to coming to Crandon. This place puts on such an incredible show. And based on what we saw at Wild West, it seems like the guys have turned it up a notch this season.
Oh, definitely. It was some of the incredible driving. I've seen a lot of the drivers that have been in the season, and they've actually just gotten better and better each time. And I'll tell you, there were some surprises. It was good to see Luke Knupp come back after a 2-year hiatus. He's back behind the wheel, and he's up on top right now. He's the one to knock off.
Looks like he is quick, so we'll keep an eye on him, but let's see kind of what they've got for this series. As we mentioned, Wild West to start it off, and we're at Crandon tonight. After this, though, we go off to Bark River, another of the longer circuits that we're going to be racing on, and then it narrows down into a bull ring with Wild Horse Pass. We'll come back to Crandon and Wild West as we'll kind of rotate through the tracks available here for the scheduled season. But we've started off with basically back-to-back here in the same week. Just 2 days ago we started off, and now we'll carry it on here at Crandon. And drivers been setting up as we take a look at the track, the place for short course off-road racing here, Dave.
Oh, definitely. This is the big half. 1.5 miles. It's got the most turns out of any of our courses, 8 out there. And you can see it is a twisty, fun time out there, but we're going to see some high speeds. And of course, you can't not but love the land rush there. That's one of the greatest things that Crandon brings to short course off-road racing.
Certainly the defining feature here at this track, no doubt, and often causes chaos down into turn 1. But that'll be important not just for the track position, but there's an extra bonus point for the whole shot. We'll talk about that a little bit later when we get to some of the specifics out here. In the meantime, they have 4 qualifying laps, and they're out there by themselves. So they're doing that right now. We're going to have 4 heat races, and top, I believe actually 4, top 4 advance is what we have been told. And then the top 3 will advance from the LCQs to have a total of 18 trucks for the main event. That is going to be a 12-lap event with a competition caution at the end of lap 5 to bunch them back up together. If we have any lap trucks, we'll have to wait for them to come back around, get a wave around, and return to the tail end of the field. But we'll see if we get to that point or not. With this being such a long lap, comparatively, it most likely will be due to someone getting in trouble, which, as we know, especially with Crandon, is a pretty high likelihood. As now we check out Rafis, the first driver on the dirt road side in iRacing to break the 10K iRating mark. And let's see whether or not the number 13 can hold on to the provisional fastest lap time that he's got right now.
Wow, Rafis really turning a fast time in there, a 1:14.8. Now Connor Berry still on the track. He's got a 1:15.1. 0.3 of a second right there. That is just a blink of an eye, but it makes a difference from who's going to sit on the pole tonight, that's for sure.
Rafis, we saw, parked it, so it looks like he's going to try and get a fresh car, fresh tires, and get back out there and try and get a hot lap in. Ooh, Connor Berry just set his third lap and now has also parked it. That means that's his last one. And he went quicker. It's a 15.1, but he's still about a quarter of a second off of Jacob. So looking like they will not be racing in the same race unless we get someone in between them here in the qualifying. Now we check in with Cole Fisher with the number 55 to see what kind of pace he has. Currently sitting in 20th position, it looks like.
Yeah, some good running. And, you know, one thing I know, Luke Knupp said he wasn't going to be here this round. He's going to have to use one of his throwaway rounds as Crandon here. He's out, unfortunately, at a desert race. I believe he's got some duties there maintaining one of the trucks there in the trick truck category.
It's a good excuse to have, honestly.
Yes.
I also appreciate the decorations that Cole has there in the background. Is some musical accoutrement helping him urge him along as his bard in the party. Yeah, there you go. I didn't notice that. It's got a little heart for the opening and the ukulele that he's got there, so that's kind of cute. Let's see if that makes him any faster.
Well, I think the maid needs to come. He's got some clothes on the floor in the back down there. We'll have to get that cleaned up and tidied a little bit.
I can hear our producer on the iRacing official show shouting if he sees this. So he always hates when drivers don't clean up after themselves. But for now, again, really the important thing for this 55 is that he's fast on the track. 20th is not going to be particularly impressive, and he is setting up for a quick one here on this next lap, as you can see him swing wide out of Calamity Corner.
Well, something to point out here is looking at these times here. I mean, 1:15.1, 1:15.2, 1:15.2, 1:15.2, and then we got a 1:15.3, a few of those. These are all really close times. That just shows the level at the National Series. These drivers are so close. One little mistake can take you out of contention.
Yeah, that is a good point. I'm looking at that, and the 15.6 that Cole has is about 0.8 of a second off of first, and he's 20th place. So, yeah, that is extremely tight margins, and it does look like he's trying to hustle the truck here for his last go at it.
Well, let's see if he can go. It looks like he's a little bit quicker possibly this time. He's got a good run here, keeping an eye on there. Really like how he changed the attitude of that truck in the air, getting it pitched, set up, going around.
This is down into gravel pit that he's going to try and swing these last two corners, 180-degree turns, these final two, as he brings it out through very wide through there, trying to launch it off of it while the track probably has some grip here to really pull him forward. And then this one, watch him hug the K-rail down to the inside. Looks like he is going to stick to it. Let's see if he goes quicker. No, the lap got deleted somewhere.
Oh, wow. Very much a shocker there. Looked like a good run for him.
That is a real shame. So he'll start 20th at best out of what looks like 30-plus trucks are going to be racing today. Granted, they will be sorted into those heats, so he won't be starting 20th on the field at the very start, but still will likely be a little bit down the order as we now head off to the first of our heats today. And it looks like the grid, as we take a glance at the drivers there with our wall of cameras, ready to go. Some of them going to be able to relax with the heats now getting ready to take place. Some of them are getting ready to take off. And among those that are getting ready to take off is our pole sitter, Jacob Raffis. They're on the top with Parker Retzlaff going to be starting on the outside of the front row. Darren Sainz will be starting from P3 as Mason Prater is 4th and Cody Vanderveer 5th. Then you've got Oliver Golding, OG, will be in P6, Nathan Metaxen 7th, and Dennis Crosby will start from 8th. And we'll get our first taste of that Land Rush start here, Dave.
Oh, yeah, definitely. What a great shot of all the drivers already. You know, some you can see that are in this heat were getting ready, and a few were enjoying some French fries. I believe that was Dane Culver. But wait, man, it's like being in the movie theater. You get to watch a great race.
I guess if you don't have the G-forces to jostle you around, you don't have to worry about throwing up the rig. So as we just wait for the last of the timer to tick down and get ready for our first heat race. Again, this will decide who automatically advances on into the feature and who will head off to the LCQ. Your night is not over, but you definitely are putting yourself under the gun. They're just double checking to make sure that all the drivers can hear race control right now. So we're kind of in a holding pattern as they double check to make sure that everybody is able to hear the instructions they need to hear, just in case. Only 4 laps around as the engines now start to rev. And the green flag is out. Jacob gets a very good start there down to the very inside. He might get the whole shot for this one. On the outside, the 22 looking pretty strong as well. Looks like the 31 of Retzlaff going to be able to sneak into second, and just a little bit of banging into the wall, but otherwise we are good. There under the blue Red Bull banner is where that extra bonus point will be awarded.
Yeah, great run there by Raffis, you know, top qualifier. We had that inside pole position, able to really take and capitalize on it. Sometimes that's not always the fastest position, but boy, he was quick on the throttle response. Now, you can see them all starting to back up a little bit. Now, one of the interesting things I noticed, no mirrors. They're driving, you know that block passing going on, or the blocking. You know, that's what a lot of the drivers are doing. Now it's pure racing.
Absolutely, and that car going very wide down into the gravel pit was Metaxen, who falls to the back of the field, but up at the front it is still Raffis ahead of Retzlaff with Sainz in 3rd. They'll swing around here to try and get themselves the best exit they can down to the run to Cowboys hairpin. This is one of the faster parts of the track, and it does look like Parker is staying mighty close to that number 13. Don't think he's able to do anything, although he's going to get to the inside. He is going to actually elbow him out. Oh, we got a battle for the lead.
Yeah, it looked like he braked a little bit later than Raffis. Raffis got on the binder, slowed down. He's able to rotate to the inside. Now Raffis will have the inside line as they go again through the Forest County Potawatomi turn number 1. And you can see Raffis with that middle preferred line's got the speed. But Ratzlaff trying to get up in the inside.
Second time he's going to just edge him out to the outside. Door checks him, and now Parker Retzlaff is truly in the lead of this race. Will Jacob take this sitting down? Remember, he doesn't need to finish anything but in the transfer positions. He is not going to take it sitting down. He gives that medicine right back.
Yeah, the higher you qualify, the better position you're going to get on that start. That's what you want to do. Raffis is thinking, when you get caught up with these many talented drivers, it could really hinder your forward momentum.
Darren Sainz moves up into 2nd, overtaking with that little nudge to the side on Parker, but now they're starting to bang off of one another as they switch back around to the left-hander. He's going to try and cut underneath as we watch from behind there. Still a battle for that 2nd and 3rd position as well. Looks like this is for 5th and 6th between Golding and Prater.
Boy, they got a great battle going on. Prater really trying to hold off. Prater's still trying to find his pace, trying to get his speed back. You know, he's got 3 championships, and now he's got to find his way because there's so many talented drivers that caught up to his level.
And looks like it is indeed, I double-checked, it is the top 3 that will advance, so correcting myself on that one. So Parker Retzlaff right now on the bubble, not where he wants to be, and he shows it as he once again uses his truck as a way to elbow aside his rivals.
How about Sainz moving, still holding on to that 3rd position, but Vanderveer is right there. One little mistake and Vanderveer's going to capitalize. And Prater, though, has got a good gap back to him. He's got a lot of work to do with only, 4 laps in this, heat race. It's a tough one.
Yeah, and this is the halfway mark right here as they cross the finish line now. So they're already pretty far into this event, coming up and around. The hill climbs upward here towards the left-hander. I think this is turn 5 or 6 as they switch around and start to get onto the throttle. Vanderveer is the first one on the outside looking in, so he does indeed need to catch and pass Sainz.
Yeah, Vanderveer's going to be able to get up there right on Sainz at times. Oh, maybe almost a little overshot, I thought, on Sainz, but he was able to hold on to it. Ratzliff, boy, he's just slid back just again because Rafa's back out front.
Sainz would probably prefer to stay in this 3rd position. It is his birthday, apparently, so the less hard work that he has to do on his birthday, the better for him so far. He's in the right place. Mason Prater, in the meantime, who's been knocking loose some of the bodywork on his truck, is also chasing on Vanderveer, but hasn't quite been able to try and make a pass on him as they all swing down into gravel pit. And you can start to see that racing line form as some of the loose stuff is being kicked up on the outside.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit of marbles on the outside. You got to keep that in preferred line. It's going to be tough to pass when you get in that slick stuff there for sure, but back on board with Jacob Raffis, you can see his lines are just hitting every apex. It's his track. You can't worry about anybody behind you. You just got to drive your track at this point.
I think he's changed his rig setup a bit since we last looked at his camera, from what I can tell. And I'm also trying to figure out, is that just all like pop cans behind him, or what has he been up to? Oh my goodness.
A bunch of Coke. Let's see, he's got a couple liters there.
If he could buy the world of Coke, he'd keep them all to himself, apparently. So he's definitely got the caffeine to keep him awake, because we haven't mentioned it, but he is over in Scandinavia. So he is up at an awkward time for him. Cody Vanderveer still chasing on Sainz, but nowhere closer than we last looked. Still about 3 car lengths back.
Yeah, these guys, I mean, the level of competition is so tight now. I mean, without qualifying good, you're going to be back there fighting for it. And you can see Prater, someone we're used to seeing fighting up there, he's back in 5th still. Cannot creep his way up by, Vanderveer's running a good race. And that's going to be it there. Raffis going to take it.
Ratzlaff in 2nd, and Sainz advances in 3rd. Vanderveer will have to try and take off from the pole of the last chance qualifier. Looks like Prater, Golding, Metoxen, and the likes of... looking through this heat here. Yeah, Crosby is the last of those 8 that will not make it on that one. There we go. Now we've got the finish up of those. So top 3 you'll see later on, but we'll see the bottom 5 pretty soon here once we get through these heat races. We're now off into the 2nd of the heats, and it is Nicholas Dachelet starting on the pole of this one. Jarrett Liebert will be in 2nd, and you've got Joel Blewett in 3rd as Sean Winkler starts 4th. Cody Retzlaff only back in 5th. He's got some work to do. Mickelson will be P6, Kirchmeier 7th, and Magashik will be starting in the 8th and final spot of this race. They're doing the confirmation once again, so we'll sit tight, wait for them to finish their communications check, and then we'll be on our way.
Yeah, it looks like we got Cody back this. He wasn't at round number 1, but Parker was. We seen Parker yet? Did he qualify?
Actually, let me double check real quick. Yes, Parker is here today, so we will likely see him. And hopefully the 2 Retzlaffs will be able to do good here at what is a track that is highly sought after by many a driver for good finishes. But Nicholas Dachelet right on the very inside, your left side of the screen in the blue and white. Going to try and see if he can get down into Potawatomi turn 1 first ahead of everybody else. We saw Jacob able to do it, but that isn't always the case that inside car manages it. Green flag is out as now they go And coming up into that first corner, yeah, already the 23 a little bit behind and actually getting pinched down to the wall a little bit by Liebert, who's going to try to take the top spot away, but cutting underneath both of them. It is Sean Winkler who is going to go from the back to the front.
Winkler with a beautiful move right up, just basically sliced and diced his way up through there. You can see they're going by the Ponzi turn, and then of course skybox corner. This takes him into the gravel pit. Now let's see what's going to happen here. The 74 slides in nicely. Can he get the grip and get that drive?
He does. Blewett now moving up to the front. Not often you see this many changes for the lead this quickly, and they've still got drivers fighting behind them. Now trying to push him out of the way. That's Liebert getting to the inside of Sean Winkler. He'll take second off of him. Dashley and Retzlaff now fighting behind them. Boy, Nicholas has not been having a good one after his excellent qualifying. He's back to fourth and outside the advancing spots.
Yeah, it's good to see, Blewett, though. I'll tell you, he's a new driver in the series. He was top qualifier coming out of that round at Wild West Motorsports Park. And, of course, now he's up running in front in his heat race. Incredible.
Oh, and they'll get into one another down at the Cowboys hairpin. Winkler gets away from it. Liebert kind of gets shoved sideways, and Dashley started to lose some body work. He'll stay in the fourth spot. He still needs to make up that one position over Jarrett in the 10. But as hard as he's pressing that car in front, Cody Retzlaff is all over him.
It's a great shot, though, from Dennis Mickelson's point of view. He's watching everybody that's going to be qualifying, so he's going to start moving his way up. You can see that they're so close, though.
Ooh, this is a very cool looking rig that he's got there with all the lights on his setup with his button box and whatnot. It looks like almost a 5-monitor setup or something that he's got going there with others down to his side. But as we're distracted by that, he's focused on the racing. We'll go side by side between Cody and Dashley. Looks like Nick might lose yet another position, but no, he'll be able to rebuff him.
Yeah, great move, though. That I'm going to say, though, he's staying on the gas. Blewett, he's got a lot of competition still behind him, but he's got a good gap. Winkler, Liebert, those are the two who are battling it out. Dashley still just outside in the catbird seat.
Watching from the back of Sean Winkler now as they swing their way through the Cowboys hairpin. Liebert still trying to see if he can overtake and make himself safer. You don't want to be in that last transfer position unless you have a big buffer. And right now, he still has that 23 within a few tenths of a second. In fact, we're watching from onboard Nick now.
Yeah, great. He's got that fender flipping up just a little bit there, but man, these guys are so quick. He's just got to find, or at least let these two battle a little bit, and hopefully it's going to slow them down. But they are running at a fast 110% right now.
All right, this marks the halfway point of the race now coming into lap 3 once they exit out of Calamity Corner. Another look to the inside, going to just be able to get his nose in, turn him that little bit, but it's not enough. Gentle touching between the pair of them. Good to see that they've got fair racing going, but they're definitely leaning on one another.
Boy, Dashley was just trying to save every tenth of a second. He ended up clipping the wall. I think it slowed him down just a little bit because it looks like Retzlaff now coming up on him.
Kirchmeier here towards the back of the field, still trying to chase him down. Apparently the wind resistance on that beard not helping him today. Oh, meanwhile, up the inside, Liebert and Winkler going to go door to door. Liebert's going to take second away, but not fully.
Oh, he's going to have that inside line. Winkler's going to get right back, and there it is. He's going to take it away. That's a good position to be. Even if you're not leading coming out of that corner, if you got that position established, you have the inside line, you got the fast line.
Dashley likes what he sees, no doubt, knows that they're going to slow each other up the more they race side by side like that, almost touching through the midair now. Liebert versus Winkler as Jarrett's going to try to stay to the inside, down through the gravel pit, switching back and coming over the jump now. Good exit by the 720. It'll switch back to the inside for him, down into this corner, and he tries to balk that apex, just checking it up.
Yeah, he was smart keeping it right on the nose there. White flag, 1 lap to go. Can he make a difference? Oh, contact back there with Retzlaff and Dashley. Retzlaff's getting a little frustrated, saying, hey, man, pick the speed up.
Yeah, he wants to get through there just as much and just made more contact. We're on board with Blewett now, our leader. Look at the gap that he's pulled, my goodness.
Yeah, Blewett is just on fire right now. And some of these lines, you see them going really wide and shooting back across. Seems to be the quick line, the way the track's coming, breaking down just a little bit.
It does look to be the way that most of them like to be racing here. And like I said, this is the top of the top. These guys know what they are doing out there, so I won't question their methods at this stage. As Winkler is once again going to be trying to hold him back. We had a change for position between Dashley and Retzlaff, who manages to get through. Mickelson is put in amongst them. Now, that's not going to change who transfers unless somebody in front of them wrecks, but it will affect their start position in the LCQ.
And Blewett's just going to pretty much walk away with this one. Now can Liebert find a little bit of an inside gap here as he comes in, but Winkler is going to keep that nose right on the K-rail, and he'll come across in second. Liebert will be the final transfer position.
And Blewett wins the heat. Winkler will finish in second. Liebert, as you mentioned, the last one through, had his own little fight there for sure. And Cody Retzlaff, the first one not to advance from fourth. Mickelson, Dashley, and Kirchmeier, the last among them. Magashik was a did not start, unfortunately. So not sure if we're going to get to see him this race. We are going to come back with more. We'll have more heats coming your way here in the iRacing National Short Course Series, so stick around for more after this sponsor. Well, we are here at the starting line getting ready for Heat 3 of the iRacing National Short Course Series. And at the top of it, it is Connor Berry with Cody Wienecke starting next to him. Zach Drapkin is next down the line with Justin Kay in fourth, Tyler Shattuck fifth, and Matthew Lindy in sixth position. It is Patrick Solari, P7, and Jeremy DeWett in our 8-truck field. Here we saw some incredible battles for the transfer position, especially in heat number 2. So we're expecting this to be another exciting one. I'm Joe Peak, joined once again by the voice of off-road, Dave Arnold. So we are here going to take you through Crandon for the second round of our season. And looks like drivers should be getting the go-ahead momentarily. Yeah, looks like we're just getting the signal. So we'll wait for those engines to start to rev as we look for the green flag off to the right-hand side. There we get the engines up and roaring. Are holding them a long time for this one. And there it is. Green flag is out. It is always random on how long they make you wait from when the signal starts to be held aloft. Connor Berry to the inside in the number 2. Looks like he's going to get the whole shot on this one. Round the outside, though, Zach Drapkin with a great move is going to have momentum. They're going to swing back left after the Red Bull archway, and it looks like coming up into the Ponzi corner. Oh, what? Coming back at him. The number 2 somehow finds the grip.
Wow, you can see that Connor Berry had a good outside run, but Drapkin just blew me away. How was he able to come and just get by Connor that way? Now Connor's going to get a little nose into him there. Oh, little contact.
He got tipped
like
off the side.
Yeah.
That's kind of steered him into him unintentionally. They're still all packed together. Look at this. There is no difference in this grouping. Lindy moves up into second with that one. Behind them, Cody Winecki still back in 3rd spot. And then you've got Zach Drapkin pushed all the way back to 4th after he had such a phenomenal start.
Well, everybody bunching together. He got unfortunately caught up in that too, but it's amazing that Connor was able to keep and hold that thing straight and take the lead.
Coming up into the braking for Cowboys hairpin, we could see some drivers try some dives in here, almost 4 wide into there from on board with Zach. He's going to be able to stay in that 4th spot, doesn't lose one, but ahead of him, there you can see the wheel-to-wheel racing between Lindy and Winecki.
Yeah, literally door to door when these guys are fighting out there. Lindy, of course, back in that 3rd position, Winecki in 2nd. But you can see Drapkin back in that 4th. He's really working on Lindy, trying to find a little daylight. But these two are taking up the preferred lines.
And they are the last to advance right now. So they could start to fight here, but it's not going to help them out, especially with how close Zach and Kay are. In fact, if I was him, I think we might see an attempt. He's going to try and go the long way around through Calamity Corner. It doesn't work, though.
Unfortunately, he opened it up for Kay just a little bit. Kay was almost to squeeze by him and take a little bit of a grab, and you can see a little grin on his face when he was going for that move.
Yeah, he thought maybe there was something there. Not quite this time. Almost pushing the 333 through the corner. We could see Drapkin there getting all over the back of him, just leaning onto the frame of that truck. Now they swing once more into Cowboys hairpin, pulls the slide job and gets ahead of him.
That was textbook, Joe. I'll tell you, that was a beautiful slide job. Is get right underneath Lindy, and that's how you do it. And that's why there's a few lines that could develop here. You got that low line out of Cowboys corner, or you take that, go a little bit deeper into the turn, and then just make that, quick little rotation.
Works in dirt oval racing. It works here on the dirt road side just as well. But coming up over the jump, past the skyboxes and into the gravel pit, it is now Barry, Winecki, Drapkin, and Lindy is on the outside looking in. We look back from Zach on that number 56. This is actually where he started in this 3rd position, so he's basically wound up where he began.
Well, that's one thing that we got caught up at early. It flushed him back a little bit, and he fought his way right back in that position. You can see the intensity right now in his face. Well, you can see a little bit of a wall tap there by Lindy. That's not going to get, gain any speed on him. It's going to allow Kay to get up on his back porch.
Got to watch out with a new damage model. You could clip it a little too hard and break the suspension on that concrete. It is not forgiving. Jeremy DeWett, though, up to 6th position, gained 2 spots since the start of this, but he's under severe pressure from Shattuck, who's going to slide it up the inside, but can't get the undercut there, and will have to hold back as a better exit for Jeremy. Keeps him in P6.
And you can see him all lining up basically in line there. Great shot as we go underneath the Red Bull arches, past the big red barn, into the Ponzi turn here. And I love this when they come by Skybox. You can see that Connors just pulled that lead out just a little bit earlier, like we saw that last heat race.
Connor, no wonder he's a multi-time champion in this series. I mean, he looks like he's on a Sunday drive right now, and he practically is out there. He's coming up to the 1 to go, and he's got a gap of 2 seconds.
Well, it's amazing. You see some of these drivers, the intensity that they have on them. They're just so focused there. And then a couple of drivers you look back, like Connor, a few other we've seen, it's like, all right, I'm just out cruising, just out driving my race car. It's amazing. But I'm back on board with Laurie. Oh, man, these guys are going at it. Look how close they all are. This is just amazing. It's just like qualifying. I mean, they're within tenths of a second.
Yeah, and they don't want to be last on the field on this one. So that'll put them well back in the LCQ and make life even harder as we get side by side in front of them. In fact, was that for second? I think it was. Winecki and Drapkin, they're going door to door down through the hairpin. They swing through turn one once again. And as they come up over the jump, almost making contact through the air, that's usually bad news.
Well, it's a great rotation in the air of both of them. It looks like a ballet out there. It's almost like they're drifting, trying to stay that mirrored image.
That's a good comparison. Oh, is he going to be able to get underneath him? Not quite. Down in front, though. Connor Berry comes up to the last corner, as it looks like Winecki will keep Drapkin behind on the previous turn. Not sure how it'll go at the end as Berry wins the heat. It's close. Drapkin, did he beat him?
Yes.
I think he did.
And by a nose.
Wow, that was tight. It was half a tenth of a second between them as we take a look at the finish of heat number 3. Berry, Drapkin, Winecki will take this one, and Lindy will be your first driver to head off to the LCQ. Kay, Solari, Shattuck, and DeWett will join him, unfortunately, in a little bit, trying to avoid getting the cut and being parked for the day before they get to the feature. That takes us now to heat number 4. This is going to be the last heat of the night to try and decide who automatically gets into the feature. Dane Culver is on the pole for this one. Thad Countryman starts second, Tyson Miller third, and Christopher Plumley fourth. Then you've got Cole Fisher P5. Paul Mikolajic will start sixth, and Cody Giles seventh. This has been quite a frantic day for these guys out here, Dave.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, this thing, when you come to Crandon anytime, it's always puts a little bit of a panic in you. Everybody wants to win at Crandon. Whether it's an iRacing, whether it's in real life, it's Crandon. That's all I got to say.
Indeed. It's, I guess, the Daytona or the Indianapolis here, the short course dirt world. It is the legend, and let's see who becomes a legend here on this one and gets the feature win. But we got a little bit to go before we get to that. So Dane Culver, starting from the inside there, you can see in that number 51. Almost needs like Culver's sponsorship with this being Wisconsin for him. But the food aside, let's see if he's got enough weight off that truck and can manage to try and take the victory here in the last heat and send himself through. Remember, it's the top 3 that we're focused on for the finishing order at the checkered flag. The revs are now up. They're waiting for the call, and the green flag is out. Doesn't look like the best of getaways for Dane Culver to his outside. It looks like Thad Countryman might have a good shot, but no, the second phase goes in favor of the 51 as the 26 is going to fade into second.
And a good battle as they're good. We're going to have 2 wide and 2 by 2 by 2 as they go underneath the Red Bull Arch by the Red Barn. Here we go to the Ponzi corner and the skybox. Now this is going to really say it here at Gravel Pit.
Miller did a good job getting up into third, maybe looking for second as they go 4 wide through there. Miller actually gets pinched. He doesn't get the launch because of that. Fisher now's got a shot in the 55 as they scatter coming up into Calamity Corner. Everybody trying to pick their line.
And it's a tight bunch there, but it looks like Colton was able to break away there. And then we've seen that. These guys are battling so tight. The leader in the last 3 heat races have literally walked away.
Yeah, this has become a battle for best of the rest, and they've been tipping each other around there for that second place. Miller and Fisher absolutely leaning on one another. We look from out underneath the bottom side of Tyson Miller's red machine. He'll pull away a little bit down into Cowboys hairpin. Fisher tries to pull the slide job on him. They once again almost go 5 wide this time.
Yeah, I think Mikolajic, Countryman, and Plumley have the same idea. But here's an example. Fisher, not the greatest qualifier, but now he's running up in that 3rd position, a qualifying position. He's really got to keep his head because, boy, he's got a lot of angry footsteps behind him.
Oh, when a couple of them had a bad landing off of the jump there, including, I think, the 77 of Mikolajic there in 4th. We're on board with Plumley just behind him, seeing if he could take advantage of it. He'll go way down to the inside, slide up, but he's not clear.
Yeah, great move as you see him sliding around underneath there. But, you know, Miller, he's just on it in front of him. Plumlee's still trying to do everything he can to get up on Mikologic.
Yeah, it seems like it looks like it's settled out there in that second and third place, which is probably a bit of relief for the pair of them because now they're starting to run away. Thad Countryman, after such a brilliant start, goes from second on the grid down to sixth. So he's struggling as the 26 sees the battle in front of him. This could be an easy two positions if he plays it right.
Yeah, Fisher and Mikologic are really, Mikologic and Plumlee are going literally door to door there. You can see all three of these guys, four of those guys, taking different lines going into the Cowboys' hairpin.
But nobody changes position. It looks like they'll stay in order. Mikologic, Plumlee, Countryman, and Giles there up through turn one once again. Little peek to the inside down by the 36, but the 77 says no, you shall not pass, at least quite yet. Watching from the 36 as the sparks get kicked up by Paul just brushing that outside wall.
Yeah, it looked like he was starting to get a little bit of a run there, Plumlee on Mikologic, but Mikologic kept a nice line going through there. You know, Plumlee, he's just got to find that daylight, and we're coming up in that halfway point.
They're all pinched down to the bottom of Calamity Corner. We check in once again with Cole Fisher here, still in a transfer spot, but just barely in third. He's got a gap of about 0.7 of a second behind and in front, so it's not a done deal, but he's sitting pretty.
Yeah, Fisher, gets up on the bank just a little bit there. I don't know if it went into the grass. Hopefully no penalties for them. But Fisher is definitely going to have to go into protective mode at this point. Because Mikologic's right there.
I think it was fair game through that left-hander, so I think he should be good. A little bit of a battle behind them. That's between Countryman and Plumlee, as they're going to try and fight for the last scraps of the field there. That's for fifth place amongst them, and that's going to go to Plumlee temporarily, and the 26 gets back inside him and says, excuse me, coming through.
Yeah, talk about forcing your way into the situation. Countryman was just trying to push him out of the way. Now Plumlee sliding back. Giles able to move up in the sixth position, and that's a bummer for Plumlee.
Yeah, he got pretty well pushed off course by that one. Culver didn't get pushed around by anybody after he managed to get that gap on lap one. The leader will win in that number 51 for the final heat. Miller second and Fisher finishing third. It was close at the end. Oh, excuse me. No, that was the white flag. I thought we were on the last lap. They still got one to go.
Yeah, Culver, though. So I think you pretty much, all he's got to do is keep that thing going forward. He's got a good gap on him. Miller's now gap back to Fisher. Fisher, though, still have Mikologic back there. This is not time to rest. Fisher's really going to have to go into protective mode at this point.
I agree. The 55 takes a good line down through Cowboys hairpin. Now he launches back down the back stretch towards turn one. Looks like he got himself a handy arm's length back to the number 77. Is the job done? Can he keep from making mistakes here?
Well, he's trying not to make any mistakes for sure. That's one thing that's not going through his head, or at least he's got that mantra. Don't screw up, don't screw up, don't screw up.
What's that self-fulfilling prophecy? Don't focus on the negative or it's going to come true. Well,
exactly.
Hopefully he's imagining that third place finish. It's getting so close between them, though. As up in front this time, I'm sure it's 4 laps as the 51 will win heat number 4, and Miller will take second comfortably. Fisher, it was close. It was very close, but Fisher's going to beat Paul.
52 thousandths is the word for our producer. That is just literally an eyelash.
Woo, it was tight. So your top 3 is going to be Culver, Miller, and Fisher. Mikologic, Countryman, Giles, and Plumlee will head off to the last chance qualifier for this one. And I believe we're going to be heading off to a short break here. We'll be back with our last chance qualifiers as well as a special interview. So stick around. Welcome back to Crandon International Raceway. I'm Joe Peak here with Dave Arnold, calling our second round of the season of the National Short Course Series. But we're also joined by Dane Culver. Dane, there's been a lot of talk about not just your racing, which looks like you're pretty good here today with the win in your heat, but also this rig that you're kind of inspecting. Talk to us a little bit about this. What is this frame?
I actually have no idea where the frame came from, but we found the whole simulator, everything included, other than the PC, all 3 monitors and everything, on Facebook Marketplace for actually a really good deal. And I've been wanting a simulator for a long time, so we decided to get one literally like right after Christmas.
Is that what's giving you the extra speed? Do you feel more immersed in this thing?
It actually feels a lot like my mod cart. It's yeah.
I was just going to say it looks about the same size.
Yeah, it's really similar to it actually, because like the way I sit inside the seat, and I can barely see over the steering wheel, so
Well, real quick before we get to the grid, you're automatically through to the feature. What are your thoughts heading into that, based on what you saw in the heat?
I have no idea. Connor told me to just not die. I think that's what I'm going to go with.
That's wise advice. Well,
Yeah.
we hope you don't. Best of luck. Keep the shiny side up, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you after the race.
All right, thank you.
That was Dane Culver in the number 51 here.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that is a very cool rig. I'm jealous. Here is our starting grid for the first D main, as Cody Vanderveer is going to be on the pole. Paul Mikulajic will start from second, and Justin Kay will be third. Nicholas Dashley will start from fourth, and then Nathan Matoxin fifth, and Christopher Plumley sixth of our cars. And I do believe, let me double check, yes, only 3 once again will head to the feature from here. So half the field is gone after this, Dave.
Is it 3 or 2?
I'm seeing 3 on the iRacing sim right now.
Oh.
So that's the official word.
Yeah, I think it's 2 because that's what we did last weekend.
Ah.
I'm sorry, 2.
Okay, so apologies. Yes, an extra driver is added to as a safety valve in case they need to allow a driver through. So it is 2. Thank you for that, guys. As engines once again start to rev, Vanderveer's got the inside in that 159 as they accelerate away. Can he make good on it as he gets a pretty good launch over the 77? Contact there already, Dave.
Did you see Plumley, though? I mean, he was wheeling and tail slapped it, put it down, and it looks like he might be second out of here.
Can he make up for what was a wild start? He's going to look for it. 77 around the outside. They were already fighting last time. They're going to get round number 2 here as they accelerate down to the gravel pit. Round the outside, Paul going to try and get the launch. Oh, a tip for Plumley. He's going to slide into the 77 because of that. Still 3 wide as one of the trucks gets stopped at the very back.
Yeah, it looks like Dashley is out of it now. Unfortunate. This has been such a crazy year. I mean, these guys have been so used to qualifying. Now they're going to LCQs. This is just crazy.
It's such a stacked field these days.
Yeah.
Vanderveer, though, controlling things up at the front. Mikulajic in the 77 manages to solidify that P2. Now he's going to cut underneath, looking for a better run on the shallow line there. Off the left-hander. He's right underneath him as we watch from Plumley in third, almost bump drafting in front of them, pushing him down the straightaway.
Yeah, it's going to come to who's going to outbreak who at this point there. It looks like it was a good line. He just filled it up there. Mikulajic just trying to hold off Plumley so they go down. But Vanderveer, man, he is just going to hope these two are going to battle so he can walk away. Now, Mikulajic on the bubble. Plumley just outside the bubble.
This is going to be interesting. These two have looked like they've been fighting fierce as he gets down to the inside, but the shallow line not working this time. 77 fights back off the turn, gets the grip as they head into gravel pit, down to the inside for Justin Kay on Plumley. So now we're getting a 4th truck involved in this.
Yeah, Kay with a nice slide up the inside, trying to make that happen there, and really surprised Plumley. All of a sudden, he's right in his vision. And you can see a little damage there from Plumley, a little bit of bumping with him and Mikulajic.
And if they start fighting all 4 of them, you can see Matoxin is not too far behind. Could we have a 5-car train to try and decide who gets through? Oh, that was way too much of the inside berm.
Yeah, he popped that thing up, got on the bike, set it back down. But look at this now, Kay able to jump up. He's got him by a nose to this point. He'll have the inside line, so Plumlee might have to hit hard brake, slide down underneath. Nope, he's going to stay wide there and try and outrun him. Good, though. Good move.
He does. You can just see behind there he's able to pull ahead of Justin Kay, so crisis averted for now, but now he's got to make up multiple truck lengths to get up to Paul Mikolajic and try to get to that transfer spot. Look at how much distance they traveled through the air.
Literally flying these things sideways, just hucking them, backing them into the turns. Gotta love it.
All under control, and now coming down to the second to last turn. This is exactly what that 77 wanted. He wants a more comfortable gap between himself and third place to advance on through to the finale. Again, if you don't finish in these top two, that's it for the night. You don't race anymore.
Yeah, and you can see Kay right now and Plumlee battling it out. It's allowing Mikolajic and Vanderveer just to kind of slowly pull ahead. You only got about 2 trunk lengths on him right now, maybe actually about 4. It can still be done. Oh, they are getting through.
Yeah, so it sounds like Liebert is not going to be in the finale, so that's going to add an extra spot. That is a sigh of relief for Plumlee if he's also just getting that information. But now this means Justin Kay has even more impetus to push hard, or maybe it's Plumlee who's going to push hard as he got to the inside of Paul.
Yeah, they're going to see, Plumlee still wants to go after Mikolajic. I'm not sure if he knows that 3 are going to go. He's in a sweet spot, but you still always want to better that position without taking yourself out of the race.
They swing back around, ooh, and coming up through the corner. That was a good run up the inside there from the 36. In fact, he's going to be able to stay side by side with a drag race down into the left-hander. Can he finish it up?
Man, look at this. Plumlee up the inside of Mikolajic. Now in the second. Coming up the white flag. 1 lap to go.
Smooth move in there, but they're going to beat and bang once more, and he's going to get to the inside of him. He's going to try and take it back. He's almost fully past him, but it's not done. Bouncing off the wall, though. Plumlee loses momentum.
Definitely took a lot of his drive away as he works it back and forth. Looks outside, looks back to the inside, trying to get up to that inside, get a little door-to-door contact.
He was there so briefly. I mean, should he be doing this, though? He needs to almost be focused on Kay, cover off that 4th place truck.
Yeah, Kay trying to do a little slide job underneath there on Plumlee. And almost 3 wide coming out of Cowboys corner. It's still going to be Vanderveer, Mikolajic, and Plumlee, followed by Justin Kay. Kay's like, oh, I'm having fun. Look at that smile.
Oh, yeah, he's enjoying this. He doesn't care if he gets cut on this one. He's at least got a story to tell after this one. And coming out through the left-hander of the third to last corner here, not quite there as they head down into gravel pit. The number 77 still in second place. Third, a transfer position we find out now for the 36. Almost makes a move on Mikolajic. Doesn't quite do it. Kay could try and get aggressive, but up at the front, the LCQ is going to be won by Vanderveer. Second to Mikolajic, and surviving Christopher Plumlee still ekes out into third.
And I got to tell you, though, Justin Kay, what an incredible drive. And it actually made it super entertaining.
Wow. It never fails to disappoint here. So there's your top 3. We'll head on through for Justin Kay, Metoxen, and Dashley. That's going to be it. They're going to park it up. They'll get to watch the rest of the racing for the night. And that brings us to the C main now, as we'll have 3 of them. And for this one, it is Cody Retzlaff with Mason Prater, the next one down. Thad Countryman starts from 3rd. Patrick Solari will be in P4 as Cross Kirchmeier will start 5th, and Dennis Crosby will be in P6. Okay, they are lined up and good to go. We always say that the intensity picks up here for the last chance qualifiers, and I say that's looking to be very true tonight, Dave.
Oh, yeah, this is just getting better each LCQ, and I'll tell you, these guys are so fast. I don't even know where to pick at this one. This is going to be, it won't be the pole, it will be 2nd or 3rd that gets out front.
Yeah, I mean, a good question. We'll have to watch and see as the Sour Patch Kids car there. I think that is it. We've got the inside. Like that paint scheme. Thought it was Fruity Pebbles actually at first, honestly. But
is it Ghost Energy too in there?
yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, he's got lots of sponsors here to carry him. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there it is. That's awesome.
And GoPro. Just about everybody is on that car for Retzlaff. But here we go. We are getting the signal. We'll hear the engines start to rev once again as these powerful beastly machines get ready to take off for the the C main here today. There we go. You can now hear them start to rev up, and the green flag is out. Cody down to the inside, doesn't get the best of runs. Looks like the best shot is that Countryman initially, but he starts to fall back. Once again, Retzlaff starts to pull forward. He's gonna get the whole shot, but it's not over, and they're gonna go 3 wide.
It's going to be a good run up here, 3 wide, like you said, coming back, and 2x2 in the back behind. Oh, someone just got a little sideways there and up and over. And looks like he made the rubber side down. That was that Countryman who went for the wild ride.
Oh, that is a bummer of a start for him. At least he's able to keep going. He needs some problems up ahead. It's going to be difficult to catch up as the battle for the lead rages on. Cody versus Prater, and in their distractedness, Solari tries to see if he can sneak through, but he gets pinched at the bottom of Calamity Corner.
Yeah, that was a tight one coming around. That's where you want to be. You just got to keep that nose in the wall so nobody can sneak up the inside, because we've already seen it happen twice tonight, just edging somebody out.
So this time it should be your top 2 that advance through. Solari knows that he's got to try and overtake on that number 3 machine, that brightly colored car of Mason Prater, who's losing a little touch with Retzlaff. Now he gets a bump from behind as Solari tries to shove him forward, but Solari gets a taste of that too as Kirchmeier slams into him.
Now the question is, are we taking 2 out of this one now?
We're getting confirmation, yes.
Okay, so we're going to hit 2 out of this one. So right now, Prater and Retzlaff, those are the 2 qualifiers. Solari, and it looks like it's now, with Kirchmeier, and they get out of shape. Oh, my.
Solari gets hit into the side. He has to actually put it in reverse to get it going, and Kirchmeier moves to 3rd. Crosby is now into P4, but they, tussling with one another, have now lost touch with Mason Prater. They have got to hunt him down in this short race.
Yeah, Prater now trying to still work on Retzlaff, looking for a little redemption. He just needs to get a better starting position. Retzlaff, though, is thinking the same thing himself, so he's going to go into a little bit of survival mode.
Well, and these two, that was a little bit off the line there for Prater. I think clipped the berm on the inside. They've got a buffer back to Kirchmeier now. Do they really want to fight, knowing that these 2 together could try and just cruise through into the finale?
Well, I don't think it's going to be a fight, but I can tell you Mason Prater still wants to be up on top. He wants to win. You got to get that little boost, it gives that morale a boost.
See if the 3 is going to try and do it for Dale tonight as he tries to hold on to Retzlaff here through turn 1. And up and over the jump once again behind them. Kirchmeier behind by about 1.5 seconds. This will mark the halfway point when they cross the start-finish line. And on top of things, Cross still is dealing with Dennis, who is close behind him.
Yeah, it's a tough one, that's for sure. Kirchmeier, he's got to go, okay, I got to focus forward. But when you got Crosby behind you, it's going to get a little difficult.
Absolutely will. So coming up through the final turn once again. You can see how close they get as they accordion together down into these slower hairpins. There's definitely a number of them spotted around this track. And then it's going to switch back once more. Coming onto the back stretch as they still chase one another down. Retzlaff and Prater only separated by about 0.3 seconds. Checking in with Dennis Crosby as well. Does look like Kirchmeier is pulling a little bit farther out of reach.
Yeah, Kirchmeier is really trying to do everything he can to get up to those 2 in front. And you got that halfway mark. You're running out of laps. Only 1.5 laps to go.
And as they fly down the straight, the main starting straight there, You can see how quickly they pick up speed. These are very powerful trucks, and Prater now within reaching distance. He could try and make an attack if he wants to get aggressive. You can see there's only about a truck length between them coming down to the gravel pit. This is where we've seen a lot of attempts, but none this time coming from the 3.
Yeah, Ratzliff definitely just says, okay, I'm going to keep my smooth lines. If he's going to pass me, he is, but I'm not going to make it easy on him.
Doesn't look like it. He's not opening the door whatsoever at this stage. He's making sure and shutting it each and every time. White flag is out, 1 to go.
Yeah, Prater's dead. I think he's going to turn it up. I think Prater still wants to take that win.
Ooh, he definitely does. There was a little bit of a peek down into the left-hander. Couldn't quite work it out, though. See if he does anything more aggressive when we come to the end of it. As this is not a driver that is doing it from third person. He's watching from outside the car. This is Mickelson that is, I guess, watching. Is this the battle for the lead here?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Prater and Ratzliff right now.
So ooh, there's a big look to the inside. Thankfully, he keeps it off the berm, doesn't turn it up on its top like we saw at the very start of this race, as they'll head to gravel pit for the last time. Yeah, nothing there. Just doesn't even try to make the pass on that one. I think he's content to try and sit and ride here, since he's not really got a realistic shot unless he gets a mistake out of that 5-2-5. The Sour Patch Kids car is definitely going to have a sweet victory in the C-Main, as Prater will advance on with him. Kirchmeier gets parked in that 75. Countryman as well. Crosby and Solari the last on the field.
Well, I could tell you, Prater at the last lap, or the last turn, he just hit the binder, slowed down, said, all right, I got this. I'm qualifying. But he did try to push it a little bit.
Yeah, he was making an honest attempt, I think, and just decided, it's good enough here as we head now to the B-Main, the last of them of our various last chance qualifiers. Matthew Lindy going to be on the top spot. Mickelson will be in second, and Oliver Golding will start from third. Cody Giles will be P4. Tyler Shattuck will be fifth, and then Cameron Magashik sixth. Jeremy DeWitt, the last of our 7 trucks here. And again, only 2 heading through. So with 7 of them out there, it's going to be a small portion that have any sort of action after this.
Yeah, and only 2 are going out of them. Unfortunately, 5 are going to be watching in their sims later on.
All right, so who's going to get a chance again? These will be the last 2 trucks as well. So they're going to be starting on the second row to the very outside when we get to the feature race after this. They'll have a lot of work, but if you're going to start from the back, better to have it in the feature where you have a much more chance to try and push your way forward. Engines now start to rev. The flag is held aloft, so we wait patiently. And the green flag is out. Oh, one truck didn't even get going there. That was Cody Giles, I think, in the number 4, who went nowhere. They leap over the jumps, over the grass. Who's going to get the whole shot? It's looking like that's going to be Mickelson.
Yeah, Mickelson with a good run there. It looks like everybody's going to spread out just a little bit. We've seen so much contact through Potawatomi turn number 1 there. But now you can see the battle's going to start to develop for the top position now.
Oh, DeWitt got all sorts of sideways, and he falls to the very back after he had a decent start. That'll perhaps scupper his hopes on this one. Battle for the top spot once again. Mickelson ahead of Lindy and Golding. 3-way fight for the lead.
Yeah, Golding definitely trying to get up in there. He's in that lap, just off the qualifying position. You see him on board right now with the number 70.
Forced his way through.
Yeah, he did. He's up in the second into the qualifying position now.
Nice move there. Kind of surprised Lindy didn't fight him a little bit harder, considering he is now off the bubble. Well, he's going to try and fight back, but a little too hard as he gets the berm, and unfortunately finds himself losing some time. And now here's the replay of the pass. Again, you don't usually, wow, he left the door open. He said, okay, I'll take it.
Hey, if I can put my foot in there, it's going to happen.
Absolutely. So what's this going to make the 333 do in this situation? Is he going to push him right back, especially when they get back around to that corner? Or is he going to try and get creative, go somewhere else on him? Golding in second, trying to keep up with Mikkelsen, as also we've got Magashik up to fourth, 2 positions gained in this race.
Yeah, definitely Megashik's going to start going after Lindy. That could slow him down just a little bit and allow Oliver to keep that little bit of a gap he has now. It's not much, but it's enough to get a little comfortable and start going after Mikkelsen.
Get them all in line here as we come back to Calamity Corner. Yep, there it is right there, down to the inside. Anything you can do, I can do better, but not quite. The 70 will hold them off at least temporarily. They'll stay side by side as it weaves back and forth, blinking, unfortunately, from Golding, as he unfortunately has a connection problem. We're going to go 3 wide now, down to the inside from Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron came up there, actually slowed Oliver down just a little bit there, allowing Lindy to pull away, but Oliver's going to try and get back up the inside, keep that thing rotating, get his tail right in front of his nose there and fill that position. Oh, nice move.
Every which line you can think of coming through Cowboys corner. Oh, and that's not a good line down the main straight there. Shattuck is going to get way out of sorts and lose touch with the battle when it was just heating up. Still, Magashik, Lindy, Golding still trying to decide who will be the last to advance.
Yeah, Lynn definitely is on point right now, trying to go after Golding. He's just like trying to work on every corner. He's trying to get that truck up to the inside. Now he's going to change it and try to go outside inside. But I think Golding's just going to fill that line too much, and he actually scrubbed a little too much speed off.
All right, we get another shot to see what's going to happen here. He's going to give him a little hello, and that'll allow him to the inside. We have the third try at this fight coming through the end of the lap and the start of the next one. Switching back, beautiful work from Matthew. And oh, there you talked about the bicycle before. He was riding around the world on that one.
Oh, definitely. He got up there. He just net coated out again, blinking.
Oh, no.
And, oh, no. He gets straight back out, then shoved. He gator tails out, and Megaship goes into second. Lind now in that third position. Let's see what's going to happen. Is Lind going to dive back down inside? Contact. Golding hits him again.
Things are getting a little bit heated now at this stage. Oliver is going to lose the spot to Shattuck because of all their fun out there. Lindy starts to try and run away once again. They know that this is everything. This is the last shot at it. And I think the tempers are starting to boil over.
Well, I'll tell you, Mikkelsen not worrying about it. He's got a good little lead. The guys are all just fighting behind him out there for that last qualifying position. But look at this gap. Mikkelsen, breathing room.
A ton of breathing room. My goodness, he could have some meditation out there. Lindy hit the wall, though, coming through Ponzi turn, and that lost him some ground up to Cameron, so he's got to try and make this up on the last lap. White flag is out.
And a lot of contact there. Golding getting pushed around. It looks like Wet now trying to get by him also. Golding back to 6.
Oh, he had some contact, and that's it for him for sure. He is out of this race. Even if something dramatic happens, he's so far back at this stage. Matthew from the outside looking in. Magashik, what a run this has been. From 6th on the grid up to the last advancing spot. All he has to do is keep it clean from here.
Yeah, Mikkelsen just nice and through Megashik. Just saw he had Mole Lake, which is just down the road from Crandon. It's one of his sponsors on the side of the store. So he's a local, obviously.
And let's see if it helps him to stick with it here, because he's got himself a buffer. Matthew is just not near close enough at this stage. He's going to need a Hail Mary to get this one. Meanwhile, Mikkelsen, we were talking about how comfortable he is. 3 seconds up ahead. This might be the biggest gap we've seen all night for a race win. And as he comes into the final corner, the number 41 will advance himself on through, winning the last LCQ. Cameron is under threat, but he is going to advance as Matthew tried everything he could, but it wasn't enough.
Man, I tell you, Matthew really was right there at the last moment on the last turn. But unfortunately for him, but can't wait to see what that young man's going to do. He's showing some really good skills on the dirt.
Well, that is the last of our last chance qualifiers. So there is your finishing order. Mikkelsen and Magashik will head on through. Lindy, Shattuck, Wet, Giles, and Golding are done, which will take us to our last break of the night. We'll be back with the feature after this. Welcome back to Crandon International Raceway. We are here for round 2 of the iRacing National Short Course Series. And I'm Joe Peak with Dave Arnold once again. We've watched all of the heat races. We've watched all of the LCQs. And we're heading off to the feature. We saw 4 wide racing at Wild West. I mean, how can we top that this time?
Well, we saw some 4 and 5 wide here already in Crandon, which is incredible. I mean, this field, I can't say it enough. The talent is just so close now. So many names that I thought were going to qualify that had to go to LCQs that still didn't even make it to the main event. This is going to be a barn burner all the way to the end. I mean, these guys are going to be dicing a lot, and I think it's going to be some tight racing. We're going to see some fiberglass flying, I believe.
Oh yeah, I think the toughness has really kicked up a notch. So here is your starting order for our feature race. 18 trucks taking part, and on the top of them, it is going to be Joel Blewett with Jacob Raffis starting in second. It is Connor Berry in P3, followed by Dane Culver in 4th, and Parker Retzlaff in P5. Then you've got Sean Winkler in the 6th position, followed by Zach Drapkin in 7th spot. Then Tyson Miller will start in P8. After that, Darren Sainz will be 9th, and Jarrett Liebert rounds out row 5 and 10th. Cody Winecki starts from P11 today. You've got Cole Fisher in 12th. After that, it is Cody Vanderveer starting 13th, and Cody Retzlaff in 14th, right next to one another pair of Codys. Dennis Mickelson starts 15th today. Paul Mikolajic in 16th. Mason Prater, P17. Cameron Magashik in 18th. Last of the drivers able to make it through. Here we go. Drivers are gridded up. Green flag is out as we head off down into the first turn. Who is going to get the whole shot and the bonus point here today? It's looking like perhaps the number 13 of Raffis can do it, as the 74 of Blewett is going to try and prevent him. They'll come to the line, and it looks like the 74 got there first.
Yeah, it looks like Blewett is standing right back out with his fast run. I mean, I tell you, I watched him up in Reno. He was so fast. I know this kid is going to get a win here eventually.
He's going to try and make it happen today. Oh my goodness, it's almost becomes a parking lot out there. Look at them spread out down through gravel pit, and they're not done. They'll have to do the same thing over again between the walls here at Calamity Corner.
And I already saw somebody look like smack the wall, and coming around here, Calamity Corners, everybody's going to make it out. And this is where they're going to head up, around, and into the Walker Evans turn. I love this. The speed they come into Argonne Corner right here. Whipping around. See, everybody's going. We saw a lot of guys going on the bike through this turn. And oh, there it is. That was on the side and reconnection and across the track.
That was Fisher once again finding himself just pushed around. And then we head into Cowboys Corner. Somebody going way deep to the inside. In fact, I think that may have been Blewett, our pole sitter, who finds himself back to 5th. That was not the right way to take that turn.
Yeah, it looks like Connor Berry able to move it up behind Jack Drapkin, who's running 2nd.
In fact, they're going to continue to race side by side, coming up into Ponzi turn, past the barn. And here we go. Great exit from Zach, but he doesn't have the inside as Connor's going to cover him off. This is the battle for P2 right now on your screen, switching back underneath him. Zach looking for the over-under.
Man, look at that. Blewett up another position, up to 4th as he battles with Parker Ratzlaff there. Back and forth, Drapkin and Berry. Berry in the black and blue, the red and black there of Zach Drapkin, the 56, who had that beautiful slide job early on. Let's see if he can try and pull it on Connor here as they get ready to go to Cowboys Corner. He seems to get that one as his little magic line.
Also, we didn't quite see it, but Cody Retzlaff passed 2 cars and one through the little S's section there and is up to 4th. It has been phenomenal stuff as we check out with Winecki, who's off to the side. Nice little battle. He'll get back in line, still side by side up for Parker Retzlaff, battling with Joel Blewett. And as they accelerate once again, it has just been nonstop, absolutely shoves him off to the side.
Yeah, Blewett definitely got pushed off the outside there for sure as he continues to battle there. You can see Culver back in that 6th position, just out of the top 5s. He's trying to work on Blewett. Blewett laying on Parker Ratzlaff now. Almost 3 wide as they come.
Dane Culver here. Going to try and continue to get them as they switch back and forth, going underneath one another. A little bit of a wide run from Blewett. That'll put him behind both of them. Culver does get both spots. Now it switches around once again. And this is definitely one of the most aggressive races. Oh no! Blewett turned around. That causes a huge stack up. Another car suffers the same fate. That's Tyson Miller.
Yeah, Miller in the 90 got definitely just pinched up against that K-rail. But look at this battle going back in the battle for second there. Connor Berry in the black and blue CBR General Tire machine. And then the red line. We're going to take a little look and see how these two battled out here.
So let's watch to see how this all unfolds. Amazing stuff coming down into the penultimate turn here. Switching back around. And then as they try to pull it off again, unfortunately, Blewett is going to get completely turned, and then he's sandwiched up against the wall. He has no place to go with everybody coming around this corner. And that just, I mean, my goodness, everybody has to just come to a halt for a moment.
It was a quick way he got back through into the pack, though, but he's pretty deep in the field now. Looks like he's back, oh, boy, goodness.
11th, I think.
11th, yeah. He got really shut back there. Megashik also got pushed back there also. Prater, looking back, he's back up to 7th there. Plumley with a good run. He's had a tough night. He's right behind Culver. We're on board with Zach Drapkin, who's just watching everything unfold. Now, I know you talked about the competition caution in lap 7, just before, a little past that halfway mark. Oh, Culver up on the bike.
Yeah, into lap 5 is when they are due to throw it. Christopher Plumley with Dane Culver here. Going to just lean on him a little bit as the 51 tries to stick with it. He could try and dive underneath him here if he wants to. No, he's not going to send it that time through Cowboy's hairpin. But yeah, I'm glad you brought up that competition caution, because we have to remember they're all going to get bunched back together. The track position will remain the same, but my goodness, you'd think these guys are fighting on the last lap. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, Plumley was just going. Well, Plumley, we were seeing the different setups of these guys. He's got the goggles on, driving that way. He's turning his head, looking to see where Dane Culver was there. He gets by him. Now he's got his sights set on Ratzliff and the 31, the green and black machine.
Yeah, VR maybe wasn't the revolution that was expected for other video games, but for sim racing, it changed the game, and it definitely is a handy tool to have here in dirt road racing, here for the short course trucks. But as they work their way up the hill through the S's, once again, the 51 now fully overtaken by Plumley, who takes a lot of that inside embankment and maybe compromises himself slightly.
Yeah, one of the things I've always wondered, because, in the sim racing, it's great to see in the VR mode, is we see a great shot there of Dane Culver in that bitchin' sim that he has, but most of the race trucks usually will have some of the containment seats. So you got the sides of your head. So even if you do turn, you're just going to see the sides of the seat, the containment seat.
That's true, yeah.
So it's almost like, okay, it's like the old school driving there. So, with the monitors, you actually see a little bit more, I feel, if it was real life, if you're comparing.
Well, right now, a bit sideways there off the jump, but thankfully Drapkin does not turn completely on his side, and the yellow flag has been thrown, it sounds like, or at least it will be in a moment. I think Rafis is just now getting to that finish line. There it is. So that's where the yellow flag is going to be waved. Once they cross that line, the position you're in is frozen. They're all going to back up to one another. And the good news is we won't have to wait long, because all drivers are on the lead lap.
That's a good thing. Now this is going to be incredible. Rafis, Connor Berry, and Zach Drapkin. Yeah, the field gets deeper in talent there too.
Parker Retzlaff.
Yeah, I know. It's just insane. You got Dane Culver, you got Christopher Plumley back there. It's just insane.
You were talking about Plumley, doing a good job coming from the back of the field. Remember, he started dead last on this one, 18th place. So he's gained 13 spots, and we still have half the race to go.
And let's also point out, he almost didn't qualify.
Yeah. Saved by the bell on that one.
He got a gift, yes. And now he's in contention for a podium.
he is grabbing the opportunity with both hands, without a doubt. And I mean, excellent job. It's not over yet. I mean, even if he doesn't have a good finish to this one, I have to say this has been a commendable run for that 36 here in the first half of the race. So it really proves that he's got what it takes, because not only has he survived the cut in a deeply talented field, he's then charged his way forward. So that on its own deserves a pat on the back, no matter where he finishes. But Rafis, who has been definitely the man to beat most recently in the National Series, has looked pretty strong here today, and a lot stronger than what we saw last time out at Wild West.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to have to call him the CC driver, the Coca-Cola driver. All jacked up on a little caffeine.
Oh my goodness! I wish I could still drink that many and not pay the price later on. But he's still young, and he's clearly got some speed underneath him. So as they start taking off now, I believe will take off at the Red Bull Archway, if I'm correct.
That is correct. That's on the restart.
Okay, so where is everybody? Everybody is lined up and going. Miller has caught the back of the field, so they'll get on their way once they reach that archway. As Jacob Rafis now has his gap cut down, and Connor Berry, the multi-time champion, is hot on his heels.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting restart as they're getting ready to come down. Everybody's getting set up there. Connor looking cool, calm, and collected.
Also, bad news for fans of Dane Culver. His PC crashed, we understand, so he's out of the race. So our first retirement from this one. We're down to 17 as the green flag is back out. We're on the restart. Little look to the inside from the number 2. Nothing doing, but he's got to be careful. Zachary Drapkin is ready to pick his pocket as soon as he makes an ill-fated move.
Yeah, it looks like Drapkin's staying right on the tail of Connor Berry. Still early in the second half of the race. You're sitting in a good podium position. You're not going to push it and see if the guys can stretch it out a little bit. You got to wait for your opportunity. You got 6 laps.
Couple of side-by-side battles down through Calamity Corner, but this looks a lot more organized this time as just the 2x2 through there. Meanwhile, at the very front, the 13 still trying to see if he can outrun Connor Berry, who's not going to take it sitting down, but he's also a very clean driver, so Jacob knows that he can trust him.
Yeah, look at this, though. Parker Rapsliff, you got Plumley, you got Mason Prater. I mean, they're all so close. And look at Cody Ratzlaff. Holy moly, he's up to 8th place.
And those that are hearing that name, Parker Retzlaff, and going, where have I heard that? He also races on the pro level on the oval side. So very multi-talented driver.
Yeah, I was going to say Xfinity driver. So he's part of the NASCAR program.
Yes, excellent point. He's had to miss a few because of that, which is another good excuse to have to not be around.
Right. We'll give him a pass. Sheldon Creed used to do that all the time.
Right now, let's see who is going to be able to be a pro here in the virtual world, because Connor Berry still very close behind Rafis as they come into the right-hander at the end of the lap once more. He gets his nose underneath. I don't think that was a real pass attempt, though. He's just keeping him honest at the stage. We're going to once again jump on board, watch through the wind, the front mesh on the windscreen.
And I tell you, Connor's taking mental notes right now. Okay, this one is a little wider. All right. Let's see where he's going to leave the next door open. Okay, he's going to go down tight. Maybe I'll go outside the next one. As these laps count down, he's figured it out. You know, okay, when we get down to 3, maybe 4, 3 laps, we're going to really start to, okay, I'm going to show him a wheel. There's mind games going on.
No doubt. And they're going to be playing him back and forth quite a bit. Look how tight to the back of him he is. Also, we'll get glimpses there just behind them. Look at how tight it is for 3rd. That's Drapkin and Retzlaff still squabbling amongst each other. Also, I understand that Culver has managed to reconnect and is going to try and join the race, but unfortunately, at this point, he needs some DNFs from the cars ahead.
Yeah, this might be, unfortunately, a throwaway round for him on that one. That's being 1 lap down. That's going to be just next to impossible.
Yeah. Although I see Blewett for some reason looks like he's out of this race. Not sure what happened to him that we had missed out there. We'll see if we can track down why he is grayed out on our timing screens. But Connor Berry, who we're going to hop on the roof cam this time, looking up at the Nitro Circus machine, another real-world racing team that and racing organization that has gotten involved in the sim racing world. We've seen a lot of them start to see the importance. There's the touchdown to the inside. Now we're starting to see Connor Berry make some real moves.
And you can see a great run there. Rafis on the inside there, Connor Berry on the outside. He's going to try and stay in this position so he can be for that inside line going into the barn turn.
And he's
just like that.
Wow. That was a lot smoother than I thought it was going to be. I thought he'd have a harder time, but yeah, now that the fight back is coming from Jacob in the 13 as he gets underneath him around the other side through Ponzi up into the gravel pit, just slides out to the edge of him, given enough space coming around the corner. Still can't get the job done. Can he cut back underneath? He's going to look for it. The 2 leaves the door open enough. They're going to carry it on.
Yeah, I thought Connor was going to have the momentum through there, but that was a beautiful move by Rafis.
And also, you can see them with them messing around this much. They're suddenly joined up to the inside. Parker might be able to get through.
Oh, my goodness, coming up off that bump there. Parker on the inside now of Drapkin with a good run. You can see Plumley has got that catbird seat watching it all unfold as they beat and bang on each other. Plumley might be able to slide it underneath them and get a good shot. These guys get a little too tangled.
Yeah, they were definitely slowing each other up there, and Plumley is beside him as they're trying to pull off as far to the left as they can go. It's flat out through here, but it is quick, and you got to hit the turn right. It looks like he's going to try and cut back under of Zach Drapkin, but no dice. Parker Retzlaff has snookered them both and taken third.
And Parker with a beautiful move there. Drapkin going to answer back, but look at this now. He's getting hounded again by Plumley. Can he be a little wrench in his program?
And if they keep fighting like this, is it going to bring in this battle for third once more? And we'll have a 5-car fight for the win. Coming down to 2 laps to go now, and you can see how much they're being caught. Almost pinching him down to the concrete there. Connor is forcing him to have a car's width and nothing more.
Yeah, you can see him there literally scraping that K-rail. He's not going to leave any door whatsoever. No daylight there. Rafis tries to get inside. Connor keeps it nice and tight. Ratlips has to check up just a little bit with Drapkin going to breathe down his neck. Let's see here into Cowboys corner. What are the line choices?
Wide for almost everybody, although Plumley slams into the side of Drapkin there, and that's going to slow them up a little bit. Another good run from the number 13. Ever since he was able to overtake and put himself into that spot, it's been difficult for Jacob to get back ahead, but this time he does it. What a run!
Man, talk about a flyover crossover. That was beautiful. As he goes back into the lead, both are quasi-teammates on the Nitro Circus team. Both running the General Tires.
Don't think I've ever seen a pass midair like that. That was impressive stuff. Back to the front for the number 13. Still having to try and elbow his rival and teammate off to the side, but now Retzlaff is also in there. He's the one that's getting pushed down to the very bottom. White flag, 1 lap to go, and it's about 4 cars that have a shot.
To be honest with you, I've only seen 3 people ever do that. Johnny Greaves was one of them. Kyle LeDuc, of course, the great late Kyle LeDuc, and Rob McCachran.
He is in rare air there, and now as they pull down the backstretch, that was a great run from Rafis and Berry. They're starting to get away. They both send it as far as they can go as well behind them. Everybody leaning on one another. Berry can't get the spot. Jacob is still ahead of him, but only for now.
Drapkin gets out of control, out of shape there. Can Plumley get by Drapkin? But look at this. Rafis fills that spot with Berry. Berry's going to try and go up the inside, do the same thing he did to Rafis did to him earlier. He might just have it here as he pushes them wide.
Didn't fully get past him the same way that Jacob did. They stayed door to door. This is going to be at the last 2 corners. They switch back and forth. Just almost elbows him completely out, but just a little bit of a nudge there between them. They stay wheel to wheel. Now it switches back, clipping the wall through the air. The 13 barely holding on. The 2 is going to get turned around. Here comes the likes
pace of Retzlaff. It's going to be 3 wide to the line, but Connor will take the win, and Parker sneaks by Jacob right at the finish.
What a finish, man. I'll tell you, that was just incredible watching Raffis and Ratzlaff battle all the way to the end. What a beautiful move by Ratzlaff.
Look at this. Unbelievable stuff. And you were talking about Drapkin back there losing control. He did a great job keeping that from turning completely around. Here's where it starts to kick off, coming down into Ponzi. And as they swing around, he's got a nose ahead. I thought maybe that was going to do it, but Jacob just fights back.
And then Parker, you can see, he goes and just kind of go, okay, gonna be part of my berm turn.
They just push on one another. Watch Parker. That may have done the deal. Yeah, he clipped the wall coming into the jump, and he was out of control. He bumped into him. I wonder if he just got on the binders because he felt like he was at fault there for the contact.
Yeah, that was just incredible when he saw that, but I think he also would have known he would have overshot that turn. He couldn't rotate. His truck was facing the other direction.
Just a wild finish at the very end. I asked how we could top it. I'd say that did the job, as we're going to take another break.
Agree.
Yeah, iRacing National Short Course Series. We'll be back for the post-race show after this. Welcome back to Crandon International Raceway. You can see the trucks flying over the jump, and that definitely sums up what that race was like right there. But Connor Berry managed to take the win over Parker Retzlaff, who was second. We didn't expect that. It was Jacob Raffis who was fighting for that win most of the race, and he got sniped right at the very finish line in the last corner. Zach Drapkin, unfortunately, had a little bit of a tangle that cost him a chance at the podium and finished fourth. Sean Winkler was P5, and Mason Prater went from 17th to 6th today. Incredible run for him. Cody Retzlaff was 7th, as Cody Winecki was P8, and Paul Mikolajic finished 9th. Then 10th went to Cameron Magashik. Christopher Plumley, he wound up 11th, so he fell down a few positions, but even still, he gained a lot of spots from where he started there at 19th, 18th really. Darren Sainz was in 12th and Tyson Miller 13th, and it was Cody Vanderveer P14 and Cole Fisher 15th. Dennis Mickelson was the last to finish on the lead lap in 16th. Culver came back to finish the race in 17th, and Blewett was our only real DNF on this one out of our 18 starters. And it looks like we've got Connor Berry ready to talk to us about that one, because my goodness, what a battle it was on track. Connor, you and Jacob, that was quite the rivalry for teammates.
Yeah, I think that it was fun. I mean, I know the first half I was in, I fell back to P3, I think. So I had to get around Zach, and then I saw that he was gone. So I knew the second half was going to be, I knew the second half was going to be a shot at it. I was able to get under him. I was able to get under him in Cowboy, and then I got around him going through the first turn, and we just battled hard. It was fun, and I'm bummed that he got third, but it definitely was a battle, and we were the fastest trucks on track for sure.
You two were. Now, we were talking about how there were 4 wide battles this week, and we kind of joked, I mean, how can we top that? Does this kind of one up what we witnessed back at Wild West?
Yeah, it definitely was a battle for sure. I mean, we did not go 4 wide, so I guess it's not the same, but we still went 2 wide, so it definitely was fun, and we were just fully battling hard and clean. So I'm pumped on it, and now we've gone a 3 and a first, so I think that we are in a pretty good spot going into the third round.
Were you at all worried about Parker during the second half of the race? Because you guys were fighting so hard. There was a couple times Parker was catching you guys, and obviously he did snipe that second at the end.
I was aware of him. I saw in my black box that he was like 0.6 back, so I knew that he was a few cars back. So it definitely was hard, and I knew the final lap, I knew that he actually got to like 0.2 behind, and so I knew that it was going to be a full-on battle. And then I saw that he got into the P2, so it definitely was a very great event, and I definitely had fun.
It looked fun from our perspective, and congratulations on the win, Connor.
Thank you.
Connor Berry, your victor here today, with second place Parker Retzlaff joining Dave Arnold, talking hopefully about that last-minute move.
Well, Parker, first, let's talk about the first half of the race there. You're getting caught up in a little bit of that stuff, and you're within I'm going to say eye shot of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I spent the first half of the race just trying to get myself in some sort of clean air. These races are so aggressive to start. I was in such a disaster for the first five laps until that competition caution, really, and then I tried to just get myself in a nice little gap and run good laps. I felt like we, everyone at Team Rogue brought a really good truck. It was just, I didn't, my heat race didn't go as good as it probably should have. I should have, raced Jacob a little bit more and, battled for the win and then put myself in a better spot for the feature to actually have a chance to race for the win the whole race. But, we had to battle from 5th, and I think I was back to 7th or 8th lap 1. So it's just a hard battle. I mean, everyone here is so competitive. Everyone here shows up with, laps on the track, and it's overall just a very competitive league.
Well, yeah, when we're looking at qualifying, I mean, just a couple tenths are separating, the top 20 drivers. That was the incredible part about it. But let's talk about some battles you had there at Drapkin, to get through Plumley, and then take us through that last turn.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was, me and Drapkin were going back and forth there for a while. I felt like I was faster. I just didn't want to completely body him out of the way for it. But when I got to, I think, lap 10 or something, I knew that if I wanted any chance to battle with Connor and Jacob, I kind of had to get a little bit more aggressive and get by him and actually show what we had. So I got into him a little bit, and then we went back and forth for a minute, and I finally got myself clear and thought I had a chance, and then he got in the back of me again and slowed my whole run down. So then it was kind of just hoping that Connor and Jacob would make some mistakes battling for the lead up there, and then it would give me a shot. And then I seen they got together on the last lap there, and I just tried to see if I could sneak by on the inside, but I just wasn't close enough.
Now, you come off the Polaris flyaway at that point, and you see Jacob and Connor right there. What was going through your mind at that point? Did we lose you?
We may have lost Parker Retzlaff here. Not sure.
Oh.
Not sure what happened. But bit of a shame. I was really enjoying getting to listen to his side of what all was going on down there. But we'll give it a quick shot. See if he's still connected. Doesn't look like.
What a bummer.
Yeah. So unfortunately, not able to hear him if he is talking at this stage. So that was Parker Retzlaff, who finished second out there today, and that will wrap up our interviews. As always, I mean, we talked about this during the break here, Dave, that I love calling this series, and that race exemplifies why.
Well, that gets me excited. I mean, I'm so used to the real life of being there, the sounds, the smells, the atmosphere, but to watch the caliber of racing that we're seeing now, it brings me right to being right there trackside again.
Well, hopefully I'll be able to get to the trackside of one of these real races for the short course stuff someday. But in the meantime, we're going to wrap this one up with a big thank you and also a reminder that we'll be back at Bark River on February 29th at 10:15 p.m. Eastern. So make sure and tune in a week from now. Big thanks to the organizers at the iRacing Short Course Series, as well as those behind the scenes at Podium Esports, Rachel and Ryan Bauer. And of course, a huge thanks to Dave and Cameron here with me in the booth. Thank you so much for watching tonight's broadcast of iRacing Short Course Regional Series. I'm Joe Pete, and I'll see you on the track.